Welcome back, preppers, to another episode of Prepper's Paradigm. In today's video, we're diving into a topic at the very core of our survival strategy: food storage for SHTF scenarios. As we know, disasters can strike without warning, and being prepared means ensuring that one of our most basic needs, food, is well taken care of. Before we jump into the nitty-gritty details, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're here to equip you with the knowledge you need to navigate the unpredictable. Now, let's get down to business. As seasoned preppers, we understand that having a solid food storage plan is the foundation of our resilience. Whether it's an economic collapse, natural disaster, or any SHTF scenario you can imagine, being self-reliant in the food department is non-negotiable. Imagine scenarios where you can't just dash to the grocery store for a quick restock. That's why, in today's video, we're going to break down the essentials of how much food you need to store to weather the storm. So, grab a notepad, hit pause if you need to, and let's dive into the cold, hard facts. But before we talk quantities and storage solutions, it's crucial to understand the basic math behind survival. We're going to calculate your daily caloric needs because, let's face it, energy is your most valuable currency in a crisis. Stick around, preppers, as we break it down step by step. Remember, we're all about facts, figures, and practical advice. Let's make sure your pantry is ready for anything that comes your way. So, without further ado, let's delve into the numbers and start building a food storage plan that ensures you and your loved ones not only survive but thrive during challenging times. First, let's lay the groundwork for our food storage plan by understanding the SHTF scenarios we're prepping for. What exactly do we mean by SHTF? Well, it stands for hits the fan, and it's our way of describing those unpredictable disasters that can turn our lives upside down. SHTF scenarios come in various forms: economic collapse, natural disasters like hurricanes or earthquakes, solar flares or EMPs, climate change, or other unforeseen events that disrupt the supply chain. We need to be ready for anything from relatively short-term disasters all the way to an SHTF event that could be the end of society as we know it. The key here is unpredictability. We cannot always anticipate when and how these events will occur, but what we can control is our level of preparedness. One crucial aspect to consider is the prolonged nature of some disasters. Unlike short-term disruptions where a few days' worth of supplies might suffice, we need to prepare for the long haul. Think weeks, months, or even longer. That means our food storage plan should be robust enough to sustain us through extended periods of self-reliance and last long enough for us to develop total self-sufficiency growing and farming food after a major SHTF event. Being self-reliant is at the heart of prepping. We can't solely depend on external assistance, especially during those critical initial days when emergency services might be overwhelmed or unavailable. To give you a clear picture, let's look at some possibilities. For example, a major natural disaster strikes and roads are impassable. The local grocery stores would very quickly be stripped bare, and it may be days or weeks before food supplies can resume. Or consider a scenario where economic instability leads to long-term food shortages and rationing. Even more devastating would be a large-scale event such as an EMP caused by a solar flare, which could knock out the power grid for a very long time. These are the situations we're prepping for, and having a well-thought-out food storage plan is our first line of defense. Now that we've got a solid grasp on the unpredictable nature of SHTF scenarios, let's roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty of building a food storage plan. And what better place to start than understanding the basic math behind your survival, calculating your daily calorie needs. Now, I know what you're thinking, math, but bear with me, preppers, because this is an essential step in ensuring you're storing enough food to keep you fueled and resilient during challenging times. Let's break it down. The first thing we need to do is calculate your daily caloric needs. Why? Because calories are the energy units that keep our bodies running, and in a crisis, energy is non-negotiable. We're going to use a simple estimate for daily calorie requirements based on age, gender, and activity level. On the screen now, we're going to show a series of tables for calorie requirements for different age groups, genders, and activity levels. These numbers are general estimates, and individual calorie needs may vary. It's essential to consider factors such as metabolism and health conditions when calculating your own calorie needs. This table shows the daily calorie needs for sedentary people, those that aren't very active at all. For example, a 25-year-old male requires around 2,000 to 2,400 calories per day even if they are not very active. Bear in mind that after SHTF, it's likely that you will be active with everything that you will need to do to survive, so these numbers should be considered an absolute minimum. Now the same table for moderately active people. As you can see, the daily calorie requirements have increased. And again, for very active people, the daily calorie requirements here are significantly higher than those required for a sedentary lifestyle. For example, the 25-year-old male now requires 3,000 to 3,600 calories per day, an increase of 50% over the sedentary requirement. Being active means you will go through your food supply faster. Remember, this is a starting point. You might need to adjust based on individual needs, health conditions, and other factors. And it's always better to overestimate than to fall short. But I won't leave you hanging with just theory. In the rest of this video, we'll provide practical tools and resources to help you with these calculations. We're all about making prepping as practical as possible. Now that we've crunched the numbers on our daily calorie needs, it's time to put that knowledge to practical use and start building a robust food storage plan. In this section of the video, we'll delve into the essential components of creating a well-balanced and sustainable stockpile. So, what goes into building a food storage plan that ensures you and your loved ones are not only surviving but thriving during SHTF scenarios? Let's break it down. First, we need to consider the recommended food groups. A well-balanced diet is key to maintaining health and energy levels. Think grains, proteins, fruits, vegetables, and fats. Each of these groups contributes to overall nutrition and ensures you're getting a variety of essential nutrients. To put it into perspective, let's take a look at sample meal plans using shelf-stable items. Here's a plan for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast uses oatmeal and dried fruit and nuts. Lunch is canned soup with crackers, which, incidentally, can last a long time as they're already dry. Dinner is pasta with a canned sauce. Another example uses canned fruit for breakfast, beef jerky with dried fruit and nuts for lunch, and canned chicken with canned potatoes and vegetables for dinner. And a third has dehydrated scrambled eggs with canned beans and salsa for breakfast, canned tuna or chicken with crackers for lunch, and canned chili with rice and canned corn for dinner. This isn't just about stockpiling random items. It's about creating meals that are nutritious and diverse. For instance, grains like rice and pasta, proteins like canned beans and tuna, and a mix of dehydrated fruits and vegetables. When planning your food stores, imagine a month's worth of meals neatly organized. This helps in two ways. It ensures variety in your diet, reducing monotony, and it allows for better inventory management. It's important to understand the significance of variety and balance in your food storage plan. It's not just about quantity, it's about quality and sustainability. In the next section, we're diving deep into staple foods for long-term storage. We'll explore the shelf-stable essentials that can see you through extended periods of self-reliance. The heart of our food storage plan is the staple foods that will see us through the long haul. These are the items with extended shelf life, ensuring we're well prepared for whatever challenges come our way. So, what are these staple foods for long-term storage? And why are they crucial? Let's break it down. First up, we have the trio of champions: rice, beans, and pasta. These are your carbohydrate powerhouses that provide sustained energy. They're not only budget-friendly, but have an impressive shelf life, especially when stored properly in sealed containers or Mylar bags. Next in line are canned goods, such as canned vegetables, fruits, and proteins like tuna or chicken. Canned goods are not only convenient, but also have a relatively long shelf life. Just remember to check and rotate your stock to keep things fresh. And don't forget dried foods such as dried fruits, and even dry powdered eggs, milk, and cheese. Now, let's talk about the benefits of vacuum-sealed packaging and Mylar bags. These methods help preserve the quality of your stored food by keeping out oxygen and moisture, which are the culprits behind spoilage. Watch out for other videos on this channel about how to store your food to maximize its shelf life. Our goal in this section is clear. We want you to understand the importance of choosing the right staple foods and the methods to store them for the long term. It's about quality, not just quantity. In the next section, we're going to tackle a critical question. How much of these staples do you need to store for short-term, medium-term, and long-term scenarios? Firstly, let's talk short-term scenarios, roughly around 2 weeks. During these initial days of a crisis, having a supply that covers your basic needs is crucial. Aim for a variety of staples to ensure a balanced diet, and use the calorie guides and meal plans we talked about earlier in the video to determine how much food you need for 2 weeks. Think of it as your immediate buffer until the situation stabilizes. Moving on to the medium term, which spans several months. This is where your planning becomes more comprehensive. Multiply those short-term quantities to sustain you and your family over a more extended period. Remember to consider factors like potential disruptions in the supply chain. Now, let's talk long-term, the scenario where you're looking at sustaining yourself for a year or more. This is where meticulous planning is key. Multiply your medium-term quantities, ensuring you have a diverse and nutritionally sound stockpile that can carry you through an extended crisis. For long-term self-sufficiency, your plan needs to include being able to provide your own food by growing, fishing, and hunting as your prepared food supply begins to run out. We'll cover growing your own food and hunting food in other videos on this channel. Storing this amount of food can be challenging. Storage space may be a limiting factor on how much food you can realistically store. If you can store enough food for medium or long-term survival, don't panic, you can still survive SHTF. Building a food supply isn't just about piling up supplies. It's about strategic planning and utilizing the available space efficiently. Adjust all of your plans based on what you are able to store and how long it will last. If you are unable to store large quantities of food, your plan will need to include foraging and growing food much sooner. It's about being realistic and practical in your approach. In the next section, we're tackling another important aspect, addressing special dietary needs. We understand that every prepper is unique, and having a plan that caters to specific requirements is essential for long-term resilience. So let's jump right in. First and foremost, we acknowledge that one size doesn't fit all. Whether it's allergies, dietary restrictions, or specific health conditions, customization is key. Your food storage plan should be tailored to meet the unique needs of you and your family members. If you or someone in your family has dietary restrictions, consider alternative items that meet those needs. Gluten-free grains, dairy alternatives, or specific protein sources, the market offers a variety of options to accommodate special diets. Communication within your prepper group or family is paramount to ensure that everyone's needs are met. Make sure everyone is aware of individual dietary needs and plan accordingly. This ensures that, in a crisis, everyone has access to food that meets their requirements. In the next section, we'll tackle another critical aspect of food storage, rotation, and inventory management, because keeping your supplies fresh and well managed is essential for long-term preparedness. First off, why is rotation essential? Well, the last thing you want is to discover expired goods during a crisis. Regularly rotating your stock ensures that nothing goes to waste and you always have access to food at its best quality. One effective method is FIFO, first in, first out. This means using older items first and placing newly purchased or stored items at the back. It's a simple practice that goes a long way in maintaining the freshness of your supplies. Now, let's talk about having an inventory management system. Whether it's a spreadsheet, a notebook, or a dedicated app, keeping track of what you have, when it was stored, and its expiration date is crucial. Bear in mind that pen and paper may be the only reliable option to be able to use your record after SHTF. Maintaining an inventory list not only helps in preventing waste, but also aids in planning future purchases. Regularly check your inventory and replenish items as needed. This proactive approach ensures that your food storage remains a reliable source of sustenance, ready to meet your needs during any SHTF scenario. It's about being proactive and ensuring your supplies are always up to par. And that's it. We've navigated through the essential elements of crafting a resilient food storage plan that will see you through any SHTF scenario. From understanding the unpredictable nature of crises to calculating your daily caloric needs, building a well-balanced plan, and addressing special dietary needs, we've covered it all. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways. Understanding SHTF scenarios, we've emphasized the importance of being prepared for the unpredictable and the prolonged nature of potential disasters. Calculating daily caloric needs, we've broken down the math behind survival, ensuring you have the energy you need to thrive during challenging times. Building a food storage plan, we've explored the importance of a well-balanced and sustainable stockpile, focusing on the recommended food groups and a sample meal plan. Staple foods for long-term storage. We've highlighted the importance of choosing the right staples and utilizing proper storage methods to maintain quality. Quantity recommendations. We've provided insights into how much food you need to store for short-term, medium-term, and long-term scenarios. Addressing special dietary needs. We've emphasized the significance of customization to meet the unique dietary requirements of individuals in your prepper group or family. Rotation and inventory management. We've tackled the often overlooked yet critical aspect of keeping your supplies fresh and well managed through rotation and inventory systems. Before we conclude, a quick but important note. While we strive to provide valuable and practical information here at Preparedness Paradigm, it's crucial to acknowledge that every situation is unique, and preparedness is a dynamic and evolving process. The information provided in this video is intended for general guidance and educational purposes only. We strongly recommend consulting with professionals for personalized advice, especially if you have specific health conditions, dietary concerns, or if local regulations impact your prepping practices. Lastly, your safety and well-being are paramount. Use your best judgment, assess your unique circumstances, and adapt the information provided here to suit your situation. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. We're here to equip you with practical knowledge for your prepping journey. In our upcoming episodes, we'll continue exploring various aspects of disaster preparedness, so stay tuned for more practical guides and insights. Remember, successful preparedness is a journey, not a destination. Keep refining your plan, stay informed, and, most importantly, stay prepared. Until next time, this is Preppers Paradigm signing off. Stay safe, stay resilient, and stay prepared.